societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. Hello and welcome to Inside Today on Global Television. Today we're going to be looking at a very interesting topic, celebrating women. Yes, still in the mood of International Women's Day. Yes, it's the month of March, and we're going to be looking at the theme, accelerating actions. Do not go anywhere. The program continues shortly. And did I mention, I am Jumai Manson. Stay tuned. That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. That human angle topic on family, marriage, peer pressure, drug and substance abuse, societal issues, women and children, and so much more. Now, it's crucial to approach these subjects with empathy and understanding. These issues often intertwine with societal norms and can lead to tough conversations. It is important to create a safe space for dialogue where individuals can share their experiences without fear or judgment. I am Jumai Manson. Join me every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the program Inside Today on Global Television. You are welcome back. It's Inside Today on Global Television. Now, celebrating women is not just about acknowledging their achievements, but also about actively working to create a world where they can thrive. Now, this means taking concrete steps to accelerate progress towards gender equality, including promoting women's leadership, ensuring equal access to education and healthcare, and eliminating discrimination and violence against women. Now, the 2025 United Nations theme for the International Women's Day, Accelerating Actions, offer these opportunity for global conversations on how local and international organizations are working to upskill women and girls' economic empowerment, financial inclusion, social development, leadership, political participation, and inclusive governance. Now, like I mentioned, it's Inside Today, and I mentioned again, I am Jemai Manson. Today, it's all about what I mentioned before, celebrating women and also delving into the theme, accelerating actions. I am not doing it alone. I am being joined by Miss Ruby Ross. She is the director, ADWIN, that means Association of Diplomatic Women in Nigeria, and founder, CEO, CHC Agri-Tech Africa. And now she is here in the program with me. Hi, Mrs. Ruby Ross. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Jumai. Thanks. It's nice to be back.
It's great to have you. It's great to have you. And happy International Women's Day.
Same to you. Happy International Women's Day, and to the rest of the women, amazing women in the world.
It's great to be a woman. It's something outstanding, something that we cannot just compromise at the same point. It's amazing. Now, let us look. Now, looking at the theme, accelerating action, what comes to mind? What's it all about? For someone wondering, okay, International Women's Day, what does it mean?
More work.
Really?
And the reward for a great work is to do more work.
That is true. That is true. It means more work for women to attain greater heights.
For women and even those that are supporting and believing that women should have a seat at the table. Yes.
When you mean seat at the table, is it just, when we say, people say, is it just about politics or everything that comes to progress when it comes to women?
Not really. It can be balanced. But
Okay.
then, we have to look into, just like you've said, it is great to be a woman. And if you want to have progress, to know what are the challenges of a woman, there must be a seat at the table that a woman can speak what are the challenges that they are facing, so that it's with great conviction that it is us that are affected. And so we should have a say to these things.
I like the fact that we should have a say and in creating that balance. You know, when you hear the woman, there's a lot of work, like you said. More work is the reward for work is the reward of more work and all of that. And that balance that you must have to balance when it has to do with the home front, when it has to do with your career, even if it's business, children, all of that income back. Now, would you want to share your experience? What experience do you have to share with us when it comes to being a woman and that accelerating action? How have you been able to balance it? Being in you have an organization running for yourself and all of that, agri-tech, and that's a lot for just a beautiful woman like you. So how have you been able to balance it all and create that reward for hard work at the same time?
You know, a woman is a multitasker naturally. Imagine, maybe you have experienced this yourself. You're steering a pot while you're holding a baby
Yes.
and still managing to have a call and still can watch what's happening all around you while your
Really?
washing machine is turning there your clothes, right?
Yes.
And you're still something that's cooked in the kitchen.
Yes.
So we're just very natural at that, and I think, you know, we have to explore and harness that, maximize that potential. Women are very vibrant. So my journey in Nigeria started with helping Nigerians, especially women, who are the backbone in agriculture, on developing and improving their farming livelihoods by bringing in technologies.
Oh.
So growing up with a great woman, my mom, we have to tend our little farm to just keep up with what we need for daily and also for so that we can go to school properly. And I grew up with sisters and aunties, so I really understand what a woman is. And when you have your children of your own, you will be more responsible and you will know that it really needs to be a strong woman.
Yes.
Not just for the family, but for the community. So I think my journey in Nigeria has been fantastic. I've worked with women in agriculture and women in different sectors as well. And it's very vibrant to have that experience of a Nigerian woman. So strong.
Exactly.
And keep pushing. And it's also very welcoming of certain technologies and developments.
Okay. Now let's look at the government, for instance, when it comes to supporting women growth, inclusivity, and all of that. What do you suggest that a government do when it comes to putting women in this forefront? So, you know, like you mentioned, agriculture, it's a really big means of source of livelihood in order to put food on the table and all of that. But let's talk about the government. What suggestions do you think for government?
Yes, I think government, the programs are there. You see the things that I've seen, there is a gap there. There are a lot of women, not just in the area of agriculture, but women CEOs, which comprises 41% of all the SMEs in Nigeria. You can imagine they're the one bringing in development, creating jobs, you know, economic activities. But if you take a look at it, there are programs in the government that is untapped, like in the exports, in the trade and investments, in many other sectors. That is because most of our women does not know how to pitch their businesses, and government too. Perhaps they needed to make it closer to the women, make it like a one-stop shop or something like an easy access for them. Because some of the women, they feel like it's only for those powerful people that can get, like, for instance, the area of affirmative procurement. In the area of procurement, you know, 2/3 of what we need in the world goes through procurement.
True, yes.
And only 1% that is being tapped by women.
Yes.
So imagine 99% just goes to the it's male dominated.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is of recent, the government, including the banks, international bodies, especially UN, and I would also commend other NGOs, are really looking at bringing on in more women in business, making procurement a more affirmative, easier for the women. So most of the women think that it's only the political ones that can get bids.
Exactly.
Right?
Of course.
But the question is, can you not become political too, women? Right?
I think most women feel it's a man's job, as it's created for the men. It's just some women now that are actually coming out and knowing that being into politics is like a space for women to actually achieve and gain higher heights. But most women would just say, okay, I'll just be at the back to give that support system. I think women are now coming out to support women to know that we can actually thrive in that sector when it comes to things like that.
Well, me, in addition, when I came to Nigeria, I didn't know that it was really, something like it was not easy for women to be in government. Growing up in the 80s, we had our first president woman in the Philippines, and then in my youth as well, we had another Filipina woman as well. So we had two women presidents already.
Wow.
In the Philippines.
Oh.
And in governance, women also really show in senatorial, House of Representatives, and even in business, and even in religious sector, many other sectors. So coming to Nigeria, that I really didn't expect that the women are less likely to be in the government or in high position. But then Nigeria will soon will get there.
Yeah,
We'll
definitely.
get there because more women now are coming up.
Yes.
And they're showcasing really their talents.
Yes, and I think more women are being aware of themselves, and they know that supporting each other is goal and it's key. That's why we have things like International Women's Day. Some men will tell you, what happened to the men? How come there's no International Men's Day? Well, women are creating impact and making waves. That's why. Now let's look at how can women empower women to become leaders in their communities or workplace? How do you think we can thrive as in encouraging women to do that?
Women, we like each other, but at the point, we also don't like each other sometimes.
I like. But why is it so? Why is it that we have that issue? We have, the men will tell you they don't have issues when bonding with their fellow men. They know how to say, hey, what's up? Hi, how you doing? But women will always have that, I don't want to talk to her first. Why do we have that? Why?
Maybe we want to feel special. We want to feel special, and sometimes that does not come from our co-woman that can have the opportunity to appreciate. And so we try to bring that appreciation by ourselves. And so it's good to be in programs, in organizations that, you have like-minded women. And so when you have that, you'll be able to feel the other woman's challenges.
Exactly.
And you can also know that you have a support system. And I think that's a way to pave for the leadership, and because being a leader, you need to learn a lot of things, and you need to be more responsible. You have to have the heart, the compassion also to lead. And yes, it's just to be in the platform where you look into a progressive, not just talking about things that are not sensible, that is not helpful to the community. So I think women also like thinking of small things. We need to think bigger things.
Exactly.
Men, sometimes men, they have the capacity that even though they have nothing, they will showcase everything.
Exactly.
But women, we are just so sometimes vulnerable. Yes. So we need to think like men too. We need to think like men, but then still respect that men, of course, they were there and they're ahead of us, of course. But then we have to be like the support, and funny enough, a lot of men really how do I say, appreciate when they see a strong woman,
Very
that
true.
is a thriving woman.
Very, very true.
We should leave the stigma or the concept of the woman is just
it's a man's world.
Dependent on a man.
Oh, it's a man's world.
It's a man's world. Or we should leave that. We have to have our roles and perform the roles very well to excellence.
Exactly. I like the fact that you said we have to have our roles and perform our roles in excellence. Now, talking about the men. Now, what ways can the men play in promoting gender equality and, of course, supporting women's rights?
Yes. They need to understand the kind of woman they have and look at the strengths and the areas of improvement. I don't want to say it weaknesses. Because we only have areas to improve.
Exactly.
And it has to be, the man should know the man is the first being that has been created by God. And so he should be a he for she leading the woman. And then as the woman is going to that platform, the woman can now build a leadership in her community. They say that if you support a woman, you're supporting the whole
nation.
community.
Yes, you are.
And my farmers are saying that no woman, no food on the table, right? And so that's the reason why the man, if you notice, if a man supports her woman, the woman can support properly her children, because her love her love is channeled to the woman for the children. So I think the man out there, you will have better women if we support them, and then just know how you could be resilient in improving the areas of of improvements.
I like that. Now, talking about Adwin, of course, how do you support women in your organization? I want to know. This is International Women's Day, and we're finding ways in which we can actually support women and all of that. It's not easy though, and of course, Adwin is of course Association of Diplomatic Women in Nigeria. So, have you shown that love when it comes to entrepreneur, when it comes to building, when it comes to lifting up a woman? Have you contributed to the life or lives of women?
Okay, great. I came to Nigeria by virtue of the Nigerian ambassador to the Philippines, Dr. Faro Unbi Akinyemi. He was then your ambassador in the Philippines. So when he saw that I have this international mindsets, perhaps that was the way when he invited me over to come to Nigeria. I saw the women in the areas. I found out that 1 in every 4 families are involved in agriculture, and usually it's the woman that tills the land that is in there. So I saw the need that let me start with the women in agriculture. Well, Adwin has been in my mind, in my vision, like what if, the world is becoming a global village.
Yes, it is.
What if we could bring in the locals into the global platform? And so we use the agricultural platform at first to uplift them. In 2023, 2024, I was part of a pool of fellows in the Western Union Foundation Fellowship, where we also won a grant. The title of of my pitch was uplifting women in agriculture, and that has helped me supported the vision, the work that I do. We've distributed biofertilizers and microbial inoculants, which we believe are a game changer in the sustainable agriculture vision, because women in agriculture are being affected by health, children are affected by nutrition.
Very true.
Malnutrition, and then the soils are becoming very bad. We are too dependent on chemicals, and so we have created social, environmental, and economic impact for our women. So that was just the start when we launched it in Abuja in 2023. But even before that, I've done a lot of work in the South, in the Niger Delta.
Just to promote and encourage women.
And just encourage them, because I grew up with women, and whenever I see a woman that is not so at the forefront of success, they have this insecurities. It's just natural for me to come, hey, you just have to look for your niche. I also have the talent to profile a woman, and then I'll be able to now give them a career path.
Beautiful.
This is great. And of recent, we've been mentoring women where we teach them grant writing, we teach them how to pitch. Just like I've said, there are fundings out there are opportunities out there, and then there are great businesses, but the businesses, the women in business and women in agriculture don't know how to pitch their business, and so there is no match. There's no match. So what if there is Adwin, there's women, not just me, but also the diplomatic women, which we share talents globally. We bring in global talents to come on board to give them little trainings,
That's
some
great.
insights.
That's fantastic.
So that you are doing locally, but your mindset is actually
Globally. I like that. I like the fact that you're doing things locally, and at the same time you have that international global mindset. Now, for that woman who is struggling out there, thinking of how to balance it all, she has kids, she has the home front, she has her husband, she has a career that's on hold, she has a lot of things going on for herself, and she doesn't know how to balance it. She doesn't know whether she can even, how it is. Say something to her. Look into the camera and just say something to her.
I said that we are all women out there, we're all multitaskers. It shouldn't be a pressure. It should be a source of inspiration that you have a great husband, you have children. Like, I'm away from my kids, they're in the Philippines, but they always inspire me to, my work here is, of course, I'm always inspired to do that, because I think about them. I think about the future, a great future. So it shouldn't be a pressure that is so difficult for you to do. It should be an inspiration, just like I've said. And the way to balance is just to learn some management skills, because as a woman, we are the managers of our home, we're the managers of our community. And so there is what we call that is urgent and important, and less urgent and less important. We try to delete the things that are not necessary, and we try to delegate the things that we can actually delegate by being a leader. And so by doing that, I believe you're gonna get it there.
All right, you just heard it here. She says we are managers of our homes, and we can actually balance it all and still attain greater heights and upliftments. Thank you all so much for being a part of Insight today. Thank you so much, Miss Ruby Ross. She is the director ADWIN, which is the Association of Diplomatic Women in Nigeria, and of course, she is the founder, CEO, CHC AgriTech Africa. Thank you so much, Ruby, for being a part of the program.
My pleasure.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, I am Jumai Manson. Have an amazing day ahead. Let us celebrate women. Well, worth celebrating, don't you think? Don't you think, Ruby?
Yes, happy International Women's Day.
And for Ruben and I, we are saying bye-bye. Let's say bye-bye together. Bye.